Hello, welcome to Point of View. Today we will talk about why the Trump administration is a danger to the world.
We will give you the facts, and it is all up to you to decide whether the Trump administration is a danger to the world. What are facts? Facts are things, can be proven that it's true. They can be presented as statements. They can be presented as numbers or statistics, sometimes in a chart or diagram. Fact number 1. Trump stops funding the World Health Organization. We regret the decision of the President of the United States to order a halt in the funding to the WHO, Director General Tedros Adhanom Ghebreyesus said at a press conference, adding that the U.S. has been a long-standing and generous friend, and we hope it will continue. Political scientist and author Micah Zenko describes the leadership shortcomings of the Trump administration throughout the COVID-19 crisis. The article's title? The coronavirus is the worst intelligence failure in U.S. history. As on September 12, 2020, the United States, COVID-19 cases, 6.5 million with deaths amounting to 194,000, and counting. Desperate to win re-election, Trump blames China for America's COVID-19 failure. President Trump with Secretary of State Mike Pompeo and the National Security Advisor, John R. Bolton, at the NATO summit meeting in Brussels last year. Mr. Trump's threats to withdraw from the alliance had sent officials scrambling to prevent the annual gathering from turning into a disaster. Just in the past 3 years, the Trump administration has attempted to roll back at least 95 environmental rules and regulations to the detriment of the environment and Americans' public health. Trump's environmental agenda has consisted largely of undoing rules and regulations created under President Barack Obama, from a rollback of vehicle emissions standards to a nixing of emissions rules for power plants to the departure from the Paris Agreement, the landmark global deal aimed at combating climate change. The U.S.-China trade war started on July 6, 2018, when the U.S. imposed a 25% tariff on $34 billion of Chinese imports, the first in a series of tariffs imposed during 2018 and 2019. It continued to escalate, with the U.S. and China imposing various import tariffs on each other's products, until an agreement in principle on a Phase 1 trade deal was reached in mid-December 2019. The Phase 1 trade deal was formally signed on January 15, 2020, with its provisions taking effect on February 15, 2020. Forget China, America is the biggest warmonger by far. Since 2001, the U.S. war on terror has killed, injured and displaced millions across 24 countries, while America's defense spending is nearly 40% of the global total. In contrast, China has waged one foreign war in the past 50 years. It's the opposite of what the Obama administration planned when it began negotiating the Trans-Pacific Partnership, known as TPP. The proposed deal, which never passed Congress, formed the backbone of the U.S. strategy to counter Chinese economic influence, but it was one of the first things President Donald Trump moved to undo when he took office, pulling the United States out of the deal in January of 2017. The Trump administration may be regarded as corrupt because many of its offices and departments have from January 2017 onward exhibited in abundance all four forms of malfeasance: impeachable activity, high crime or misdemeanor, threat to national security, non-impeachable activity. Donald Trump vowed that he would take on the power structure in Washington and drain the swamp of all the lobbyists who had hurt the country's working class. He also said he would impose a lifetime ban on top executive administration staff from lobbying on behalf of foreign governments. Furthermore, Trump also wanted to stop foreign lobbyists from engaging in fundraising for American elections. Trump said that as a billionaire, he knew how the system was rigged. He said he would be able to work around that rigged system for the benefit of the people if he was elected president. But he did not drain the swamp. Donald Trump lied to the people. WHO voted for him. President Donald Trump is wielding America's racial tensions as a re-election weapon, fiercely denouncing the racial justice movement on a near-daily basis, with language stoking white resentment and aiming to drive his supporters to the polls. Trump, Unleashed, is a danger to the world. By John Cassidy. A columnist of New Yorker magazine quoted as saying, "If Trump's worldview has any consistency, it is as the ideology of a certain type of parochial, embittered, outer borough New Yorker, an upscale Archie Bunker." According to Wood, the president was a frequent customer at his Paul Mole barber shop for the next 30 years and was always very precise when giving instructions on how he wanted his hair to look. "He's a complete control freak," Wood told the New York Post. General Jim Mattis, Trump's former defense secretary, is quoted describing Trump as dangerous and unfit for the presidency in a conversation with Dan Coats, the director of national intelligence. Thank you for watching.